let's talk about it. Let's dive
Let's
into it.
dude, let's talk about
You've
it.
got Kirby Air Riders on here. You played some more of that before we dive in?
No, I forgot to update it. I have only been
Okay.
playing Prime 4. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah, let's dive into that. I mean, it sounds like now at this point both of us are approaching the end game, right?
Yeah.
You haven't entered the last area. I have not entered the last area, but we're both kind of doing the end of game cleanup, getting all the items, getting as many
Yeah.
skins as possible.
The funnest part about Metroid
Yeah,
is going back and
all
like
that fun cleanup. It's so fun.
yeah, the cleanup is so much fun and yeah, I mean let's just kind of break it down, I guess. I mean it's I mean, we'll talk about the reviews here in a moment, but I mean it's a Metroid game. It's not quite as intricate as like Metroid Prime One. Like I would really compare like Metroid Prime One to like a Dark Souls, where this is more of like a Dark Souls 2, where you have like your hub and then you have like the branching off paths. Like that's kind of the
Yeah.
best way I can describe it. Um, but I don't think that necessarily takes away from the game. Like each area is beautiful in its own way. Each level is intricate in its own way. You're going to be going back to these areas multiple times throughout the game for story reasons. Once you unlock upgrades and have to go back, so it's not like you aren't forced. You have to go back there and discover new stuff that you can like a typical Metroid experience. So yeah, I think all the reviews and stuff we read online are accurate for the most part. I can see where people get upset about it not being as intricate as like Metro Prime 1, and I could see somebody dinging it for that. But as far as like the characters go and like the moments where when you're with some of the NPCs, like I don't think it necessarily takes away from Metroid at all. It's different. You had texted me yesterday and said it's a blend of Zelda, Metroid, and Halo. And it definitely does feel a lot like Halo in a lot of these moments. But then, you spend 15 minutes with a character, with a couple of characters or a character and fight some enemies. And then you're back on your own again, doing the normal Metroid stuff, exploring and all that stuff. There's the Miles character. Yes, you can radio him when you're in the main desert and he'll give you some ideas on where to go. But he's not constantly chatting at you all the time. Like he does occasionally, ring in and say, "Hey, I see you got an upgrade. Why don't you go to, the ice belt and see, use your new weapon there." So it's like a friendly reminder, but it's not overbearing. And again, I don't think it takes away from the overall experience. I wouldn't ding, if I was reviewing it, I wouldn't ding at a point because, we have voice acting in Metroid. I don't think it takes away at all.
Yeah, I don't think it does either. And I've been seeing a lot of knock on the game's visuals from the Twitter and TikTok side of things.
It's a beautiful game.
Freaking beautiful game, and like obviously video compression does any game dirty when you're trying to show something on the internet.
That's what I call the sheeps online. Like they all have like one collective hive mind.
Game.
It looks like it's like, bro, go back and play a PS3 game, like and tell me if you see a difference in like, especially in fidelity and stuff like that, and lighting and stuff. Like
one comment was on one of the videos that I posted was that this looks like a PS Vita game. I was like, really? The PS Vita, the handheld PlayStation device from like freaking 2012? Yeah, it looks exactly like that. It's a great analysis. Yeah. But in all seriousness, like the game is freaking beautiful. When you're playing on the TV, 4K, 60 frames per second, it looks incredible. The lighting's really great. The HDR is really great. Even when you're in Soul Valley, like I do think that visually is the lesser experience compared to like the individual areas, but it still looks really great.
Yeah, it does.
And even on handheld, when you're playing either at 60 or 120, it still looks really good. So like,
yeah, and it's fun. Like, and again, I don't understand like where people were bored in the desert. Like, it is genuinely fun driving around. Like the Viola, it feels so good to drive.
Yeah,
it's instantaneous when you press start to activate the motorcycle. You can get in and out really, really quickly. It's got boost speed, which you can unlock more boost with same with your other weaponry. So that's really cool. There's not really much music, when you're just driving around, but I think just hearing like the motorcycle itself like going I think that's enough for me. Like I don't necessarily need like a I mean, yeah, I mean, if there's like an overall theme, like a ocarina, like a Hyrule Field or something, sure. And I know that the big controversy is the amiibo has the music that
And
you
that
can
does
unlock
stuff.
early. You can still unlock the music, do it through in the game, by finishing it, I believe, or doing something. But
You
obviously
need
that
to finish it 100 times.
instantaneously unlocks it for you. But whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, that is kind of weird. I wish they didn't lock things behind amiibo, and I think there's like viola colors as well that are locked
Yeah,
behind the viola amiibo. So that's kind of stupid. Like you could have just included that. I mean, that could have been cool stuff to find in the desert.
yeah, it's been
Like
very cool.
additional things to uncover. Like, oh, it's a new color for a view, and then, that's not super exciting, but it is something to find. You
Yeah,
know, so they could have done that. Um, they could have even done like finding music tracks
yeah,
around the
that'd be
desert. Like,
cool.
oh, you're digging up a cassette or something, and it's a soundtrack for Ice Belt or Fury Green or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, like they could have done that kind of stuff, and it's a bummer that they've locked behind the amiibo. But you know, it's okay. Like if that stuff didn't exist, if there weren't any colors for the viola, or if there wasn't any music for Soul Valley, like I don't think it's a knock against the game if it didn't have it. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. Do you wanna talk through each area? Kind of just like give our thoughts on each area, whether we loved it, liked it, disliked it.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely yeah, well, I guess we'll just start by, like, in order of the areas, like, start with Bolt Forge.
Fury Green?
Oh, yeah, Fury Green, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, start with Fury Green.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most simple, like, as far as, like, layout goes, but, man, it is a beautiful,
It's
beautiful
beautiful.
area, and that music in that area is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, very awesome. Like that area did remind me of the opening level of Halo 3.
Yes, yeah,
Like very much so. In a good
yeah,
way. Like I love that opening level of Halo 3. Um, but this is definitely a good introduction. It felt like classic Metroid. Like it felt like the opening area of Metroid 1, Metroid Prime
mhm,
1 to an extent.
yep,
Obviously more linear, not as many branching paths, and it was shorter than I thought it was going to be.
yeah,
Um, and aside from like the hub base that Miles sets up, there's not too many reasons to go back there aside from inserting your green crystals, and then there's like the little like the puzzle that you do with each of the elemental
yeah.
chart, the elemental shots. Um, so other than those things, there's not a big reason to go back. So maybe that's why they set up the base there to force you to keep going back to Fury Green to make it more relevant to the player. But
Yeah, there I mean, there is, items and stuff that are scattered throughout there as
that
well.
that require like later game
Yep, yep,
unlocks. Okay,
yep.
okay, that's good to know.
I didn't realize I was getting ready to hit because at the very end of the game, there's a moment where it says, "Okay, if you're done, continue. We'll
Like the
proceed
point of
with the
no
mission
return.
because the point of no return." And I was like, you know what? I haven't fully explored Fury Green, and then there's like that little robot that you can hit with the electric bolt, and it'll like show you where all the items are, the unacquired items are in the map. Have you have
Mhm.
you have you done that before?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's one in Fury Green near the entrance, and as soon as I hit it, yeah, there was like 5 or 6 that popped up that I missed.
Were they on new paths or were they just hidden like in places you've
Just
already
hidden in
been?
plain sight. Yeah, when I went and found, I'm like, man, that was really hidden. But again, it was just in plain sight, and you use
Nice.
like the burn ammo to burn away some bramble or something like that. So yeah, there's some stuff in Fury Green.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good opening area. Could have been a bit longer, but you know, it was kind of
Yeah,
a semi-tutorial area. I know there was like the Federation space pirate battle
yep.
at the beginning of the game, but this is kind of an extension of that introduction into.
And now that you brought that up, I forgot about it. I initially I came home and I have a third party dock that I play on like my TV out in the living room, and I initially started playing there. And as soon as the game launched and you got control of Samus, she was in slow motion. Like the entire game was in slow motion. And I know this game is 60 frames per second. Like, what is going on? I restarted the game, I rebooted the Switch, still the same problem. And
Yeah.
well, I've never had a problem with the dock before with any other game. And then I brought it into the main dock and it worked perfectly. So, and I haven't tried it since. So I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very weird. At first I was like, did I get a faulty cartridge or what? Because it was just straight like in slow motion.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very weird. And then once I brought it into my actual game room and on the regular dock, it worked just fine. But
Okay.
yeah, that was really weird.
Nice. That's strange.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that first area on the planet, I can't remember what the planet was.
Tanamor?
Tanamor, yeah, I think that sounds correct.
Yeah.
And then Silas attacks you, and then you get warped to Viewers. But yeah, great starting area, I think.
All right, Volt Forge.
This probably was my least favorite, I think.
Really? Your least favorite? I think visually this one's just so cool looking.
It is really cool. I guess getting Viola was cool, but there's like literally the second, I think it was the last tower was just focused on doing like the driving stuff with Viola, which was fine. It's not necessarily bad. I thought it was good. I mean, I enjoyed this level a lot, but I think this may have been my least favorite.
The knock on this one is that there are too many elevators.
There is a lot of elevators in this one.
Yeah, just like 3 too many elevators. Like, yeah, you think.
And I will say this is kind of every level. I don't necessarily love the double scanning of stuff, like scanning stuff before it gets power, and then you have to scan it again once it gets power again, because that's a little bit obnoxious. And I don't know if it's like that in other Metroid games before, but yeah, the double scanning was a little bit. I felt like it was like just kind of fluffing the time a little bit,
right
on the level.
Well, in the other Metroid games, or at least in Prime 1, I think, if you go into your visor, anything important is, I think, orange, and then anything non-essential is like a light blue.
Yeah.
They should have done that in this game, because everything is just green in Prime 4. So you think everything needs to be scanned, but that's not the case. Like, you don't have to, like, not everything counts towards your scan percentage.
Oh, wow.
It's
okay.
only the stuff that goes into the logbook that counts, but there's no real way to know.
Yeah, because I was like doors and stuff, like you are constantly scanning.
But so that, like, I've been scanning everything that I see.
Yeah.
And that kind of artificially increases the length of the game, when I wish I just knew what the important things to scan were, rather than, let me scan this crate.
Or maybe just not have us scan doors, like,
yeah.
Or grates. Or I mean, I think the grates are fine, because like it'll tell you like, okay, you need some sort of like high power
projectile
explosive or something like that. So that's fine. But yeah, especially I would have been fine with all of it, except just double scanning everything was a little bit obnoxious.
Right.
And it was like that in every level. You have to go to the generator and reboot it, and then kind of traverse back through the level, for the most part.
I guess it was like that for Volt Forge, Ice Belt. Not for the last two, right?
Yeah, Ice Belt was a little bit different, because like there was this sequence of you're trying to run, like everything's getting shut down, so you can't go back through. Initially, you can after everything's said and done, but yeah, and then the Forge, not Volt Forge. What's the fire one called? Fire Pool?
Flare Pool?
Flare Pool. Yeah, that one, there's like the kind of explosive that's going on. So they're all a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit. But Volt Forge and Ice Belt, you are going to turn on a generator.
Yep.
For both of those. So they should. I don't think they should have done that back to back. But I see what you're saying on Volt Forge. I just liked unlocking Yola and
Visually,
driving it
yeah,
around.
visually, like, that it's pretty stunning, like, all the
Yeah.
lightning and weather effects and stuff like that going on. Um, and then I thought that boss fight was cool, like, it's a good, um, fight with, getting rid of, like, the shield, like, the plates, whatever, you have to go
Oh,
around
yeah, that
him.
was a good one.
That was a cool one.
And then the Silex fight later on in the game when you go
Yeah,
back, that was a
yeah,
cool fight too with the
yep,
electricity.
yeah, that was
That one
cool.
was pretty challenging because you have to use the grapple to fly around the room.
Yeah, yeah, that was a
Yeah, it's
sweet
a good
fight.
fight. Alright, what's next? Ice Belt?
Yes, Ice Belt.
This
Um,
one this one was awesome.
this
I
one
think
might have
there's
been this one might be could be my favorite. Obviously we haven't gone to the last portion of the game yet, but yeah, this one was like very, very Metroid. Like you were just slow and methodical, scanning stuff. Not a lot of enemies.
well, in the intro with the wolves. That
Oh
was
yeah,
cool
that
too.
was a cool fight. Yeah, I died a
Yeah.
couple times because I guess it's just like you just have to survive.
Yeah.
And I died once, and then I ended up obviously getting through. But yeah, that was cool. And then you meet the second NPC as well. There.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Ice Bet was really, really cool going through it.
And, like, all of the logbooks that you come across,
Yeah,
like, all the entries, like, oh, they're they're trying to save this it was almost like the virus had taken over and created what are the creatures called? Not the Lemorn, but what they got turned into.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember the name. But, like, it was basically that story, like,
yeah,
building up to it and, like, them trying to reverse it essentially, and then
yeah, yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Like the overall story too is like I think it's pretty solid.
yeah. I mean, it's
Um,
definitely told through the scans and the logbooks.
yeah,
It's not, like, super overt aside from, like, what happens with you and, like, the Federation troopers.
yeah,
Um,
and even in like the cutscenes, there's not a lot going. There's not a lot of exposition going on. It's just
no.
you're just kind of in the moment of stuff happening. There's not a lot of like revelations or anything. Most of that stuff, I would say, majority of that stuff, you're just playing as Samus by yourself, finding these logbooks, and um, yeah, so very very Metroid in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, then you get to the generator and Ice Belt, turn it on, and there's just that beautiful light that shines.
Yep.
I'm like, "Dang, this looks good. This is
Yeah.
very, very visually impressive."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's that whole, like, not escape sequence, but yeah, the area or the entire area is, like, shutting down. You have
Yeah.
to
Everything's
find
basically
another way around.
unthawing and coming back to life,
Right.
which is always cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. See, I think I think that's my favorite area.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was very cool. And then like going outside and there's like the wind aspect to it, and you have to
Oh,
like
yeah, that
go
too.
across the chains, and so yeah, it was a pretty interesting level. A lot of platforming and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
very, like,
cool.
very Metroid.
Yeah.
Very Metroid Prime.
The next is Flare Pool.
Flare pool.
Which this one I actually went to Flare Pool first, and then obviously you can't proceed without a certain weapon. Um, but yeah, yeah. This is also another like visually stunning level with the fire and stuff like that.
Yeah. I I wasn't super impressed with, like, the first half of it when you're, um, like, with the 2 NPCs, because it
Yeah,
was pretty linear, like,
yeah,
really, really
very,
linear, kind of a corridor shooter
very,
almost.
yeah, very much like a Halo level.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely like a Halo level, which isn't a bad thing, and I
Yeah,
say disappointed, I mean that from a Metroid perspective and not from like, "Oh, this level sucks,"
yeah.
perspective. Um,
But I like the character. Like I love like yeah, I can't remember her name, but when you come across the second NPC and she's just like
Armstrong.
shocked. Yeah, Armstrong, and she's just like
Yeah.
shocked of like she's like, oh my
Are
god,
you
this is
really
like the
Samus?
legendary bounty hunter Samus Aran, and like yeah, like she
She's a
is
huge
funny
fan.
in that way. Yeah, a huge fan. Like that's really really cool. And then there's like the sequences of you have to have you and the NPC in order to open up the door, and she's like, "Oh, come on, let me get in, let me help
Yeah,
out." Like I like that stuff. It wasn't annoying. It didn't take away. anything. Again, like I don't have any problem with the NPCs in this game
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, those are pretty cool moments.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the really cool boss fight with the fire dragon creature.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, that was a cool one. Like fighting it first on Viola, chasing it around, and then
Yeah.
hopping off on the like the little platform, and that was good. It felt like a classic fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then of course the escape sequence
That was so much fun, dude.
so
I
cool.
love
That
the
one was
classic
awesome.
scene. Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, that was really fun. That like the boss fight and that sequence definitely saved that area for me.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah,
The
that
first half was pretty
elevated it.
weak in comparison.
Yeah. And then last up, the Great Mines. That was
Great
the
Minds.
fifth big area. I mean, this one I texted you earlier, but like this one felt like Gears of War, felt like Halo a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of had the whole squad. You were
Very
fighting off,
again,
like, 4
very
teams.
familiar, like very similar with Firepool, but it was pretty linear. Like there's not a lot of like it breaks up a little bit once you get away from the NPCs, but it's
Right.
pretty linear area. But yeah, it's a great area though. Like very awesome, very not ooh-rah, like overly ooh-rah, but like there's a sense of
Kinda
like,
ooh-rah
okay,
a little bit.
I'm part of a team here right now. It was pretty awesome.
And the reason I liked it more than maybe more than I should have is because it gives you a chance to use all of like the super shots that you get in the desert, like all
Yeah.
of the upgrades to your different elemental shots. You get to use those in full force because
Yep.
if you use your regular missile, it would cue the enemies, and they like every time you used a missile, I can't remember what they're called,
The
but
sound would like trigger, yeah, the
the sound
enemies
would trigger the enemies to come.
and then like the green enemies that would explode, you have to freeze them first and then kill them. So they didn't
Yeah,
draw in more enemies. So yeah, it was very cool. It was very cool. It was very enemy oriented versus the other levels.
yeah, definitely. Like, hey, use your arsenal of weapons. You've
Yeah,
been
go crazy.
unlocking it throughout the game. Let's see you use it. And for that reason, I really like this area. I thought it
Yeah, it's
made
great.
a lot of sense from a gameplay perspective. It's not Metroid. Doesn't really feel like Metroid,
No.
but
It does once you go back, like once you go back to it and you're going and cleaning up some of the areas. But yeah, just like like going like there's like the where you're trying to extend the bridge for the characters and stuff like that going out. Like there's some cool stuff in this level.
yeah, definitely cool stuff. And like that's one thing about Metroid Prime 1. It's like there's never a real good reason to use your full arsenal. Like some enemies have weaknesses to certain beams, but you're never told like, hey, like just unleash hell on
Yeah.
these guys. And this and in Prime 4 gives you the opportunity to near the end of the game with this one.
Yeah,
So
there's a couple of like horde like moments where you're fighting for your life, jumping around the
yeah.
level and stuff like that with the NPCs. So yeah, it was a cool,
And like the
very cool
claw
level.
drilling, claw drilling.
Yeah, that was
That
cool.
made me think of Gears.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That just like, oh, defend me while I'm drilling through this hole. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Yeah. I
cool.
mean, like, I don't know. Like, it pains for me to say this, but like, I could totally go for a Metroid like extraction shooter,
Shut up.
or some sort of third person, something like that. I don't know. Like, that could be kind of cool, or
It's
a
kind of
co-op experience.
maybe want to play Federation Force on 3DS.
Yeah. There you go.
Get up.
But yeah, this level was great. I loved it. There's no level in this game that I think is bad or even close to being bad. Like I
And
think
like,
each level has its strengths and weaknesses.
and just based off of us talking about them, like they're all kind of different. They're all aiming for something,
Yeah.
relatively different. Like, yeah, the Great Minds is more of a shoot 'em up level. The flare pool kind of escort mission followed by an escape sequence.
Yeah.
Ice Belt's very dreary, very atmospheric.
Yeah. That one's probably the most Metroid level of all of them because like
Yeah,
I mean, and I guess in like in Volt Forge, I mean you're literally by yourself the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No, you come across an NPC, don't you? Yeah, you come
Well,
across the sergeant, right? And that one,
I
because
thought that was
the
Ice Belt.
sniper guy is Ice Belt.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Sniper's Ice Belt. Do you find the sergeant when you go back to Volt Forge?
I can't remember.
Because I
So
didn't think
Armstrong
you found
Armstrong
him
is
the first
in,
time.
or is Sergeant and Armstrong, are they both in fire?
Oh, they might both be in Flare Pool.
Yeah, Flare Pool, yeah. And then Volt Forge is just, yeah, I think Volt Forge is just you getting Viola. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spell it definitely feels like the most Metroid level. But yeah, each level offers something different. Each level is cool and unique in its own way. And I think if you treat it like a lot of people were saying that it's very Ocarina of Time esque with the overall, you have like the big hub area and then you have the splitting off areas. I think I can dig that. It's really cool.
Yeah. It definitely, like, they definitely went for something specific, and I respect the vision.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone. It's not going to appeal to everybody. But at the same time, like, I got frustrated with Metroid Prime 1 when I played it back in 2023. Like, that mission at the end where you have to collect the 12 talismans or collect the 13 talismans, like, that involved a ton of backtracking back to
Yeah.
every area. Like, that,
Yeah.
if that game were to come out today, it would get docked for that.
Yeah.
Just like Prime 4 is getting docked for the green crystals and the mech parts, which, like, the mech parts, that was
Yeah.
easy. That's easy.
Yeah. Like four of them are in the desert, and then I think two of them are, one's like right outside the ice belt. Yeah, I mean you have to go into the ice belt and then kind of go out. And then the other
Yeah.
one I think is in
Flare Pool.
Flare. There might be one in ice or in
And I think it's Flare Pool. Flare Pool,
yeah,
Ice
Flare
Belt,
Pool.
and then the 4 in the desert.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that wasn't. I didn't find that like annoying at all. But and then for the people that are like mad about the green, like so in the game, there's these green crystal shards that are in the desert, and you collect them, and there's like a pedestal you can take them back to, in
Fury Green.
Fury Green, where you can unlock additional upgrades, and you do have to do it. But if you just while you're driving and you don't like a Metroid game, you're actually out there exploring, even though it's a desert and there's not a ton of do. I mean, there is a lot of stuff to do. I mean, there's the shrines to find, and then like I don't know, I was every single time a green crystal shard showed up on my map, in front of me, I would go hit it and then
I'm a
just
simple
drive
man.
off. Very simple. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
take a lot. But yeah, I guess reviewers weren't doing that while they were playing the game, and then at the end they realized, oh, we need a ton of green shards. But if you just kind of collected them as you played, it wouldn't really be an issue. But
Yeah, like, by the time I finished with the Great Minds and had the specific ability needed to bust open, like, the larger clusters,
yeah,
like the large rocks in the desert, which grant
yep,
you a lot of green shards, I was already 75% of the way
yeah,
through the meter. So, like, that took maybe 5 minutes to go through. Like, I'm gonna find these big clusters, blow them up, and then I'm at, quote unquote 100%, and I can go get
yep,
the final upgrade. Like, yeah, I guess just people didn't, like, reviewers just didn't do that
yeah. I
at
mean,
all throughout the
we were
game.
texting back and forth, but I have come to the realization that video game reviewers for these websites are not very good at gaming.
Yeah, and, like,
Like a lot of times they don't even finish the games. Like we've heard stories about that. Like they don't even finish the main story. It doesn't happen all the time, but yeah, that stuff really irks me. Like I get the time crunch, and I get Nintendo doesn't always give you 2 weeks in advance, to play the game. But that being said, Metroid Prime, I'm 99% done with it, and I'm at like 14 and a half hours, 15 hours. It's not a long game.
No.
You know, and I don't game for a living, you know, if that's, you know, I feel like if you're doing it for a living, like you should be able to knock it out, and still get joy out of it and stuff like that. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not in the review field, but yeah, just common sense would be, okay, the game is telling me to collect these things. I should probably, I don't know what it's going to do in the long run, what it's going to offer me, but maybe I should just collect them as I go would be the common sense. And
Right. You have
apparently
the
it
meter in
wasn't so
your
common.
start screen, so you can see
Mhm.
that there's a meter that needs to be filled.
Yep.
And like, yeah, common sense would say, hey, maybe I should
And
collect
and
these.
Miles is telling you, like, every so often, hey,
How's the crystal hunt going?
make sure to deposit your green crystal shards. You could get something cool.
Yeah.
So
And then,
the game's telling you, I don't know, you're just refuse to listen, or you muted the NPC because you don't want to hear him talk because it's a Metroid game and Metroid game should be an isolating experience, blah blah blah. I don't know.
yeah. And then like the mech parts, like I came across the sniper guy out in the desert, and he gave me the teleportation key pretty
Took me
early.
forever to find him. Like Miles was like, "Hey, Tanaka or whatever his name is out there in the
Yeah.
desert," and I was like, "Where? Where's he at?" Like I looked all over, and then I finally found the smoke signal, and I was like, and then that was him. And then you get like a couple of cool like little backstory, you know, cutscenes for him, like which is cool.
So you didn't find him until after Great Minds?
Why is he out there
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
you
I
find?
found him
Oh,
like
because
after Ice Belt, I
oh wow,
think.
yes, I never came across him. There was once I unlocked the electrical gun. I went and found the little robot that shows where all the items are, and they're in the areas where he shows up were items, but I couldn't find him. And I was like, "Well, where's the item?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe something happens in the story and something, you know, whatever." And that's ended up what it being. But yeah, I didn't find him until after Miles was like, "Yeah, he's out there in the desert somewhere. Go find him to help you with the you know, with the mech parts." Because I'd already
Gotcha.
found all the mech parts.
You just needed to
I just needed to find it. Well, I found all the ones in the desert. I didn't go back to um some of the other areas that you have to go to, but yeah.
gotcha.
So
Yeah, so like by the time I got to that end game quest, I'd already sent over 3 or 4 mech parts.
okay.
So I only needed to get 3 more. Um,
And while I was looking for Tanaka, I was
hunting those
crushing
greens.
green tris like come on, man. Like you gotta kill two birds with one stone with this kind of stuff.
So there's a green there's like an electrical robot out in Soul Valley?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta find him.
So it's if you go to um geez, the forge.
Oh, Volforge.
Volt Forge. Go to Volt Forge, and to the right, like if you're facing it, to the right there is um two of those little psychic platform things that you can create.
Yes,
And
okay,
then
I
you go
went
up
there
there and
early
he's right.
on.
He's great. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, that's like one of the first things I found. And then yeah, just zap him, and then obviously it'll show you everything in, even items like that are in, like if you, because every single shrine has also an item that you can acquire outside
Mhm.
of like the upgrade to the weapon. There's some sort of missile or whatever. Even if you've completed the shrine and missed one of those items, it'll show you on the map that
Oh,
there's
that's
an
nice.
item in there. So
Okay,
that's cool.
cool.
So yeah, and like I don't know how the other Prime games were, and I can't remember if this was the case in like Metroid Dread, but like being able to just unlock something that shows you where these items are, I think is really cool. Um, you still have to figure out the puzzle to get to those items, but at least you know where they are, which I think is really really cool.
Yeah, I can't remember if Dread did that. I know I 100%ed it,
Yeah,
so I don't know if that was on my own accord or if that was with help from the game, but I can't remember. But that is nice that
yeah,
you can use that and kind of go through an area and sweep it up
yep.
quicker than you normally could.
I did kind of wish that you could go into an area from the main map and go into like each individual area and see what you need. I didn't see there was a way to do that. That would have been nice to know how many items you were missing
I thought you
without
could.
actually. Maybe you can.
Like you can look at the maps for each
Yeah.
area. but
Yeah. Maybe you can. I'm just misremembering. Yeah, very, very, very like friendly if you're wanting to collect everything, which
yeah.
most Metroid fans are gonna want to do. So I like that a lot.
Yeah. Any final thoughts? We'll probably both finish it
This week,
by
yeah,
by the podcast next week. But
yeah. Well,
I'm at like
either.
either an 8.5 or 9 out of 10 right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely at a 9 for sure, and it'll probably be depending on how the story wraps up and the game wraps up and any additional like in-game content. Yeah, it's great, man. This is like my type of jam. Like I love, and this is arguably the worst part of the game, but I love the desert part. Like I love being out there and just exploring and coming across, the wreckage from from the ship and stuff like that, and fighting enemies. And yeah, there's a lot to do if you want stuff to do in that area. If you
Yeah,
want to avoid it, then I don't know, you're missing out, I think.
I think there is a decent amount to do. I
Yeah,
think there could be more. Like I said, like finding those weapon colors or like
yeah,
something else to unlock rather than just the missile upgrades, the weapon upgrades, and then that's really it, right? Energy tank upgrades, Viola tank upgrades.
yeah. I like you said, like maybe having like skins or something you can unlock, right?
Right.
For the suit, like I don't know, going to like a classic skin or something like that, or change up for Viola would have been cool.
Mhm.
Um, but outside of that, I mean, other than the levels being more Metroid, like I kind of like this era of Metroid that we're in for the Prime games. Like I could definitely go for another one of these, in a couple of years with Metroid Prime 5 or whatever they decide to do. And then you have like your Metroid Dread as like the 2D Metroid as like your hardcore, you know, Metroid game that you kind of come to expect. Like I like that these are different.
Yeah. And like to be honest, Metroid games have been fairly linear since really
Yeah.
since Prime 3 and even Metroid Fusion.
Hmm.
Like Fusion was super linear,
Very linear.
very very talky. Prime 3 is very linear. Even Dread to an extent, like it's pretty linear. Like a lot of things get gated off throughout
Yeah.
that game, and you're kind of funneled into a specific direction. So I just I don't understand where all the hate is coming from for Prime 4 specifically when the franchise has been going in this direction for quite a long time.
Yeah, and that's like the whole point of a Metroid game, right? Is like not everything is open to you at the very beginning. Like you unlock stuff and then you come back. You can only go a certain path for so long with what you have, and then once you unlock it, then you can kind of venture off a little bit. And even then, you're like, oh yeah, there's this door back here that I can go into with this missile upgrade, and then you go in there and there's something else blocking you. So like you still have to. So yeah, I don't really know what the issue is. Like
You still have
It's
those light bulb moments like you do
yeah,
with every other
it's
Metroid game.
Metroid. I don't know. It's Metroid. Like it's exactly like you're gonna go back through these levels a bunch of times, replaying them with your new like weapons. I mean, you could theoretically unlock one new ability upgrade and then go back to a level. For me, like I waited like until I got a couple different upgrades and then I went back
Yeah.
and kind of got everything. But I mean, you could do that. They're just not all connected together, and maybe that's the issue. If it was all these levels, but they were somehow interconnected in a way
Yeah.
without the big hub world, I think a lot of people would have liked that more. But like I don't know. The desert I think is a cool, unique aspect of the game that I'm not saying that the Prime series has missed or was missing, but I think it's a cool addition.
Yeah. I think the bike's cool. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that vision. I don't necessarily need it to be a mainstay in the franchise.
Yeah.
If they went with a more interconnected world for Prime 5, like I'd be supportive of that too because that's fun in its own right. Like circling back on an area is exciting.
Yeah.
So like I understand it. Like people who wanted that obviously would be disappointed, but you're not in the desert that much of the time.
Mm.
I just don't see it as that big of a drawback, to be honest.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, like thinking of like the lore of the game. Like when you get to Bolt Forge, you're like, man, like these people, everybody was just on motorcycles all
Yeah,
the time.
right.
The
Yeah.
amount of like ones they were manufacturing, because as soon as you light up the generator, like they're just immediately manufacturing
Yeah, they were in
all these
production.
violas. Yeah, they were in heavy production. I'm like, dude, there's nobody here, man.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but like that, like just viola playing such a big part in this game's lore. It's so
Yeah,
funny. Like, man, they were really just cruising around this desert on bikes.
like just constantly.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And then just like this is kind of the Prime series in general, but so many times where you come across a new room and enemies are coming after you, and you're like, I did that. I got to scan this item first, or I got to
Right.
scan you, or I got to scan
1
this
second.
pedestal or something. Like, hold on.
Some of those enemies are hard to scan, like the little bat things that fly at you
That
very
would like,
quick.
yeah, those were a little annoying.
Like
Just to
I
scan.
literally don't have time to scan you.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
those are a little frustrating because like that came across. I think that was that Ice Belt that they were introduced in, and I'm like, man, like this is like the third time I've come across it. Like, so
right.
but yeah, Metro Prime 4 is great. I think if you're, I don't know, if you're on the heels, you're not sure that you want to buy this game, and you looked at the reviews. I think if you like Metroid, I think if you specifically might like Metroid Prime, like I think you're gonna love this game. Like
If
I
you like
think the
yeah,
the NPC dialogue stuff was blown way out of proportion. It really was like it really was. Yeah, I don't know what the internet's deal was, and these previewers that all collectively decided to hate on this one character, but
it
man,
really felt like a psyop.
yeah, it was like generational hate, man. Like, man, like we hate this person this
Like, I
much.
wanna kill Miles McKenzie. Like, really, dude? Like,
Yeah,
he's
like
that one
Logan played.
too?
He's like, yeah, I let him die. I'm like, dude, okay, you're
Let's, like, kinda grow up a little bit, you know what
yeah
I mean?
yeah grow up, man. Like,
I love listening to Logan Plant, and I listen to NVC all the time, and I love his opinions, and I love his reviews, but yeah, like, that sentiment was a little bit egregious.
yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah, because then that just adds fuel to the fire for these idiots on the internet and Twitter and stuff like that. Where you have this, you have Miles, the Miles character, which again he's totally fine, and he's not. Yeah, he's a fine character. Um, but then you have the amiibo thing with the music, and then you have people online just like, oh, it looks like a PS3 game. They do that with every single Nintendo game, of course, but um, it's like don't add fuel to the fire for these people. Like,
Right. It's all just kind of engagement bait.
yeah. And then you had like Giant Bomb, like they were like, yeah, we kind of disagree with all the stuff that's going on with the story around like the Miles and those characters, which was much appreciated. Kind of funny. Same thing. They were like, yeah, we played this, and I don't really understand the.
They gave it a 9 out of 10, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Tim did. I can't
yeah,
remember what the other. I think it was just him that reviewed it. Him and
yeah.
then they had Logan on there as well. And even like Logan was backtracking and saying like, yeah, it actually wasn't like that bad. I'm like, yeah, you played 20 minutes with a character. Like, geez, man, like your half your
Let it go.
video was about this one character. Like, golly, like what are we doing?
It's
Yeah,
just yeah,
very,
it feels like a
very,
weird bait train. Yeah. Like
yeah, very, very frustrating.
this game does not deserve the Metacritic score that it has,
Yeah,
in my
I
opinion.
so obviously last week we did our tier list for Switch for first party Switch 2 games. Where does this land? We had DK at S tier. Obviously we haven't finished it yet, so we
Yeah.
don't quite know. I'm gonna say it's S tier. I might end up enjoying this more than Donkey Kong.
Really?
Yeah,
I would still put it below Donkey Kong.
I've
I
really like these types of games where you put me in like a hub world and there's stuff to do. It's not like it's not open world per se, but it's a hub world and there's just stuff for me to do all the time. Like it never when I'm traveling around, like, it doesn't feel like I'm not doing anything because of the green crystal shards. Like, you're just constantly like, it's like, oh, look over there. Yeah, and it's not it's I guess you could consider it a collectathon game, right? Because you're
Yeah.
collecting all these upgrades, but they're meaningful upgrades in a way. Um, yeah,
What other games are like this?
I'd have to. I mean, I don't know. There's
Yeah, think about it more, but
yeah, I had to think
no,
about
I'm
more,
just
but
curious. Like, I'm trying to think like what other game has kind of a somewhat basic hub.
probably like God of War. Like I love God of War. Like
Like Ragnarok?
yeah, right around in 2018. Like I love like going back to the
Yeah,
levels and
there were some cool unlockables in the
yeah,
hub area.
yeah. I just love I kind of love stuff like that.
Yeah, it kind of is like God of War. Yeah, I mean God of War, Ocarina of Time, obviously that's been
Yeah,
cited a lot as a similar game.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice. It's a fun game.
So
I'm loving it so far.
yeah,
Yeah, I would put it either at the top of A or bottom of S for me at this
okay.
moment. But
And you've played more Metroid games than I have. So where does this kind of land? You know, as far as your favorites go.
let's see. Dread is my favorite. Prime Remastered is my second favorite, and then I can't remember what I have below that. Maybe Fusion.
Yeah, Fusion's great, man. I
Fusion's so
recently
awesome.
played that I think last year.
Yeah, my top 5 prior to Prime 4 is probably Dread, Prime Remastered, Fusion, Super, and then Zero Mission. Which you need to play Zero Mission
Yeah.
and Super. Those
Yeah.
are both awesome.
We according to Metroid's history, I mean, we should be getting a remake of what
Of Super.
of Super.
Yeah, that's next on the list since Metroid 2 was already remade.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know where this would land in my top 5. Maybe above Fusion, but still below Dread and Prime Remastered. But
Yeah.
I'll have to think about it a little bit more. I definitely like Dread more than Prime 4, but
Yeah.
I think I favor the 2D Metroids.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
that's
that
like
nature.
that. I mean, that's the classic, right? That's what when you think
Yeah.
about Metroid, like
Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah, it's the original form, and I think the unlocks you get in the 2D games are a bit better than you get in the 3D ones.
yeah,
And that is one thing that I do find a bit lacking in Metroid Prime 4 is like there's not really any new abilities to the franchise. Like you get kind
Let's
of
see,
the
I haven't felt that
similar stuff.
way ever with like even like playing like Metroid Dread, like going from Dread and that really being like one of my first Metroid games. And then I played Prime for the first time, the remaster, and I'm like, man, like Prime came out in what 2002, 3,
Yeah.
and we're still unlocking the same stuff, which I have no problem with. I love it, but we're still unlocking like this all the same exact items,
Spider Ball.
you know, in Dread that we did in Prime 20 years ago. So has there? I mean, I obviously the psychic stuff is a little bit new and not
It's
new
new, but it's not
because
new. It's just a
yeah,
different name for it. Like
um,
I guess
yeah,
Dread had like the multi-missile thing. You could shoot a
yeah. Oh yeah, that's
cluster
right. Yeah.
missile. Um,
And this has it with like the super missile that you can like
yeah,
every
that's
single
true.
weapon has like its own like super version.
Yeah.
I do like the like I wish there was kind of more of it, but like the when you're doing the spider ball and like you're hovering and like you're grappling toward like the little spheres and like getting
Oh yeah, that was fun.
tossed up.
I
Those
think that
those
was new.
segments are really cool.
Yeah, I don't remember that from the other Prime games. I think that
Yeah.
was
I think
new too.
the grapple's cool. I mean, it's not like it's not Halo Infinite grapple, but I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
wish you could grapple more freely. That would be
yeah,
awesome. Maybe in Prime 5 when it's not
yeah,
kind of limited by the Switch 1.
yeah.
Like
I
I
think
think
this game is going to sell pretty well.
I hope so.
I mean, it was number 1 on the eShop and for Switch and Switch 2.
Yeah. I think over 3 million would be a success. I mean, that would be like the best selling
Yeah.
franchise, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna say, I mean, DK sold what, over 3? But
Yeah.
I mean, DK is not. I mean, it's not a huge.
But DK was also just Switch too.
Right. Yeah,
So.
DK is not a huge like franchise, like a huge selling franchise, and obviously Metroid is even lower than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with it being on Switch and Switch 2. Yeah, I think like maybe by what, March or February when we get to find, I'm thinking 5, man. I really am.
But that's in 1 month. Like that's 5 million in 1 month.
In just 1 month. When
Yeah,
is the financials? Is it March or is it February?
it's February, but it goes through 12/31. So it only captured data from Q4
12/4
this year.
to 12/31.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it'll only capture like 20 something days of the.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe at the next one, the following one. But I could easily see it being over at least over 1 million for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely over 1 million. I think if it's not over 1 million, it's
that's not good.
that's a flop because
Yeah.
you're working with a pretty huge install base with the Switch 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it should be the best selling because it has that install base.
150 million switches and what, 13 million Switch 2s. So yeah, it should sell.
Yeah.
I got high hopes. I mean, this game is, I think, fantastic. Wish I would have reviewed better. Some of those, the 8s I can see, but the 6s and below, I'm like, man, like, I don't know. I don't know what you were playing. We weren't playing the same game,
right?
Evidently.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
All right. Well, that is our impressions for Metroid Prime 4. I think we both say it's probably a must-play game.
For sure.
If you're a Metroid fan, if you're a Switch fan in general, I think it's a must-play. So, yeah, great game. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy. And I will see you in the next video.